Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of my podcast. And today we're going to continue the conversation about a new constitution. This time we're going to talk about a constitution for all generations. Why do we even need another constitution in the first place? When we see patients and if we choose to obsess over what is obvious, like the patient has a hot temperature, they are in pain, and then we focus on those obvious symptoms and we treat them, we are very likely to miss the real reason why the patient is in front of us. So in our training, we learn to differentiate between symptoms and deeper causes, and to treat the causes, otherwise we mismanage the case. So once again, when the diagnosis is broad, the solution will be weak. The problem with our constitution is not ethnic, unitary, or federal. I don't care how many times people repeat this thing to us that, we have an ethnic problem that needs to be corrected, an ethnic imbalance. Those are symptoms. The real problem with our constitution is financial. There's a structure in the constitution that has been there since colonial times that limits the way that Nigeria makes money, spends money, and distributes wealth. I'll explain. It is that states and local governments are tied to the apron strings of the federal government. Now, I'm saying that if we cut the subnationals loose, citizen participation will grow and our social contract will be strengthened. One of the reasons why it is almost impossible to enforce accountability in Nigeria is because there is a complete disconnect, and this has been said over and over again, between those who are being led and those who are doing the leading. When we cut the subnationals loose, citizen participation will grow and our social contract will be strengthened. Finances will stop slipping through the wide open cracks in our revenue allocation system, and politicians who specialize only in crony elitism, dispensation of favors, cultivation of hangers-on, and stealing of public wealth will be less attracted to the work of governance. The work description for politics will change from office to service, and only those with the character and competence to crack the hard nuts of wealth creation and public satisfaction will contend for office and service. Charlatans will start to slip away, and true professional public servants will emerge. Still in that line of thought, when the meaning of budget changes from paying salaries and allocating kickbacks to creating wealth and setting priorities, weak-minded political jobbers will fall by the wayside, and with them, their culture of public corruption. Focus on the financial stricture, money sclerosis, and wealth limitation at the failing heart of our colonially modeled, militarily supervened constitution. And see if new opportunities for shared prosperity and sustainable development are not freed up. When there is food for all, health for all, education for all, jobs for all, and security for all, see if ethnic competition and representation still dominate as much as they once did. The problem with framing a new constitution lies with leaving it in the hands of an old generation, whose language is limited by the world they grew up in. Those who were born around the end of the Second World War, who struggled for independence from colonial subjugation, who survived the Civil War, and who were crippled by military dictatorship and its internal colonization. These traumas still linger. More so when those tasked with setting the framework for managing the mess are themselves its unhealed victims. Younger generations have, unfortunately, already inherited these dysfunctions. But the good news is that in every generation, there are still exceptions who outthink the majority. And so, the conversation around constitutional change must not be monopolized. When the only tool we have is a hammer, every problem seems like a nail. Nigeria needs surgically precise scalpels, hair-thin teasers, and laser-focused insights that go beyond the muscle of ethnic contest and beyond the bone of unitary centralization to the vessels of wealth creation and the nerves of true financial independence. The shameful, dehumanizing era of sharing, whether federal allocations from crude oil or bags of rice from poverty alleviation strategies and the storage and silos, must be immediately brought to an end. The endless dependency and entitlement fostered by a bizarre culture of sharing cripples states, disenfranchises local governments, and disempowers all citizens. Go back to the wealth creation impetus that each region once encouraged before military rule. And let us go forward to full local government-based, council-led, word-driven, mind work and handwork that will restore our social contract. No one is waiting for Nigeria to have sense. All our vulnerabilities are being exploited and punished. Our wasted opportunities are creating unearned advantages for outsiders at our expense, and no one is coming to save us. Certainly not any foreign investor or bilateral or multilateral donor. We are the ones we are waiting for. We must stop letting the old generation dictate and monopolize such an important public conversation. Nigeria's problem is not past only. Present and future must converge in the solution, and those who have the eyes to see far while standing on the lessons of the past and who can foster intergenerational collaboration, mutual trust, and collective accountability must be called upon to lead. This is my conversation about a constitution for all generations. The reason we are the way we are is because we have not yet learned how to create wealth and how to share wealth and how to give all citizens equal rights and privileges in this democracy. I could give you the facts economically, but today is not the time for that. What the time is, it's time for you to respond to what I've said. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this diagnosis is correct, that the issues with Nigeria go beyond ethnic tensions and ethnic conflicts, even though those are very real issues, but they are symptomatic in my opinion? Do you think I'm correct that we need to change the way that this country creates wealth and distributes wealth so that people can settle down and we can really focus on what we really want to be and what we really want to do? Let me know. Send me a reply. Send me a comment. Thank you, and see you again next time.